And remember, it's so much better with labor.
Are you having sore throat, fever, coughing, headache, or runny nose? Take Cetamol Cold and Flu day or night. Ask your pharmacist for Cetamol Cold and Flu and get back to the happier you. The time by Cetamol Cold and Flu is
8:30.
It's the morning show.
Attention all drivers, I'm begging you to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, down. Too many stunt drivers on the road, man. With the fire day, driver, what's your emergency? It's better late than never, so why all the hurry? Speeding is the main cause of plenty mishaps. The road is now a racetrack, threatening life and property, and all the result of that led to death and injury. Inconsiderate driving, this nonsense need to stop. Stop. I'm making it my business to alert all motorists, especially those who love to break traffic laws. I have seen what speed can do. Here I am to your rescue to help you to live. Just take this advice I give. Slow down. I want in all drivers to take care of your passengers. Be careful on the road. Hey. Don't make it an episode. How much more tragedy we have to endure to face the reality. Less is safer than more. I'm begging all my friends. Be careful on the road. Watch out for them donkey. Hey. Slow it down, man. Hey. Slow it down. Slow it down. Slow it down, down, down. Especially by the school zone. The road procedure, Granny reminisce about how it used to be more safer. They used to travel without the fear of getting hit by a speeding vehicle. Hey. Now it's the fast and furious. They ignoring the traffic code. They defeating the purpose of our lovely road. Driving too fast, some even overtaking corners too. Next you hear a low, low bam, another traffic jam. Somebody child fighting for their life. The rescue team does take so long before they respond. You're taking a serious risk, exceeding the speed limit. Slow down. When your vehicle right off, slow down. And your friends them a go laugh. Blood stains everywhere. A whole heap of them done dead for the year. I don't beg you already.
All right, it's now time for our conversation on the road with Sergeant Henry in the studio with us this morning. Good morning once again, Sergeant.
Good morning, Jiki, and how are you?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Nice one. All right, let's get right into our conversation before we open the lines. Sergeant, we'll hear from Sergeant Henry first, and then after her opening remarks, we'll hear from you what's on your mind, your concerns for this morning. And of course, the number to call at that time will be 465 2555. And for those of you in the United States and Canada, 718-577-2916. Sergeant Henry?
Good morning. This morning, the topic for this morning is traffic signs. And we are having some challenges with persons parking wherever they want and whenever they want, because we have some signs that say you only can park 30 minutes, that is on 4th Street on the right-hand side when you're coming up 4th Street. Persons parking there for longer than the 30 minutes. On the left-hand side, there are no parking between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. From Monday to Saturday. When you drive around, persons are parking there. If they're going to pick up something, you go. If you bring somebody to pick up something, you drop them off and you move on. Not for you to park there. We have no problem with just stopping to put off someone because the law makes provision for that.
Right.
But for the year from last year to present, the overall total of tickets that were issued for failing to comply with traffic signs, failing to comply with the 30 minutes, failing to comply with direction of police, failing to comply with traffic sign to no right turn, we have 1,711 tickets issued so far from January last year to present.
Wow.
And I can break them down for you. Fail to comply with traffic sign. That's if you park, okay, for the yellow line or something that says no parking. We have 1,122 tickets that were issued. We have 133 pending before court. We have 348 unpaid tickets and 641 paid. The 30 minutes parking, we have 30 unpaid tickets, 82 paid, and 15 case pending. That's 127. Fail to comply with direction given by a police officer. If a police officer sees you park somewhere and they ask you to move on, and you fail to do so, that's also an offense. We have 4 paid tickets, 6 unpaid. We don't have any pending. Failing to comply with traffic sign to no right turn, which persons are still doing at the traffic lights. We have 53 case pending, 44 unpaid, 264 paid. That's 361 overall. No entry, because you know when they have function, so we put a no entry sign. Person still want to pass, and we're going to put it on the left because we drive on our left here. And if you're going to go over on your right, and then you're going to tell me you didn't see the sign, that means something wrong with you. Either means you shouldn't be driving. Because I mean, if a pedestrian is standing on the right, you could knock them down and say you don't see anything. Because you're going to see a sign in front of you. Yes, we drive on our left. And you're going to go on your right to drive. That's because something obstructing you from going down. We have 53 case pending, 44 unpaid ticket, 264 paid ticket. Overall, 361. And the law gave license authority permission to place signs in strategic places. So we're not just putting up signs because we want to. We put up signs to control traffic.
Right.
For instance, yes, we have the traffic lights, and you're going to say, oh, we paint the town yellow. We paint it yellow because the lights are there, and if you're going to park your vehicle in the area where the traffic light is, you're going to obstruct traffic. So we have to make provision for that.
Okay.
You know, right turn, you can cut across traffic. Because if the light is green and you're cutting across and something is coming, we're going to have a collision.
So you're not maliciously putting up signs?
No, we are not.
Okay.
We are putting them there to control traffic.
Can you pause here
Yes.
for a moment and let's take some calls? 465-2555, 2555, 718-577-2916. Good morning, you're live.
Yes, good morning, once a week, Police GQ. And good morning, Commissioner of Police, Ms. Henry.
Thank you. Good morning to you.
Yeah, police without pay. Now, I have what you call a correction suggestion for our country. Now, in those big international countries, any vehicle make a turn anyway without signal, and the police see that vehicle, the driver gets a ticket. Now, saying that to say this, those 10-wheelers, trucks that pull those flatbed that carry containers on them, they have, at the back of those flatbed, they have 6 lens for lighting behind you. 2 of the lens completely red and the stationary. And 2 are there for left turn or right turn. And 2 are there for the braking of the movement of the vehicle. And they are all operated from up front where the driver is. So when the driver backs up a truck to a flatbed to pull a container, there are 2 connections. He hooked them off from the back of the truck and he hooked them onto the frame that pulls the container. And when the driver gonna turn right, he put on his signal and that flashes in front of the truck and behind to the back of that container. And also for the braking, when he push brakes, who behind will realize that the truck is about to stop or something. And the other one is, like I said, the stationary red light that you could know there is something in front of you. And I think those trucks that pull in those flatbed here in St. Kitts, they should be checked and make sure that those lights are working. Also, all vehicles seeing indicator lights should be working. That's all I have to say this morning for Traffic Talk. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, caller, for your input.
Good morning. You're live.
Good morning, Mr. Libert. Good morning to you
Morning.
and Sergeant Sophia Henry. Good morning to both of you all.
Good morning.
Morning again.
Sergeant Henry, what you said this morning, it's so true. The truth about that is we all, and I always use we, I am a part of society. I never said them or others because I could be somebody who have done it before. However, I'm very particularly and careful at these times. People are trying to park where there are signs says not to park and to turn where the understanding of direction not to turn, not where they want to. They really, really want to do so where they are not supposed to. However, I'm not sure what it is they all are doing. I'm glad for you to read out all the things that you have done, the tickets that issued, etc. But please, occasionally come back on the radio and tell us all what it is all you have done that we see based on our observation and spoke of weeks after weeks. There was one thing I really wanted to stress on. The music festival is imminent. We know there is an event that's held at South Friars at the property of Carambola, just after the music festival, and White Sands. Because of traffic, the road is so narrow already. There is traffic along there this time of the year, the tourism season. I am asking if you all can collaborate with Public Works and ask them to push off the shrubs, the brush, the vegetation on both sides, so parking become more, at least better, safer, and feasible for people to park when during those events. It's a good time to do it now because rain is falling, the grass will grow, the weed will grow, and it becomes flat, and at least able for others to park feeling safe. There are no rocks and bottles and all those things that can cut tires. I'm just simply asking if that is possible. The things that I see, I spoke of, and I will continue to speak about them when I see the necessary reduces, because I believe they make sense. But do have a good day. I think you all are doing a wonderful job. Mr. Liebert, as host, I thank you very much for taking my call and accepting what I have to say, listening generously. Good afternoon to you all when it does come today. Have a pleasant morning and take care. Goodbye.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you for the advance greeting. That's a unique one.
Caller, your concerns and suggestions are noted.
Oh, let's back to the phone line. Good morning. You're live.
Yeah, good morning, GQ and Sergeant.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
Good so far.
I'm fine, thank you.
Sergeant, I don't know the procedure you are using putting the road signs in town, but Sunday I was driving across Central Street. I saw the police officer marking out a drop-off sign. Now I have been asking for persons with disabilities to have parking in town for the longest while, and there is nothing being done. So I want to know, Do I have to go to somebody else to get it done, or could I talk to you? Next thing is, this may not concern you, but I normally go, for me, to go to National Bank, I have to use the one on Pelican Mall, which is much easier. Now, when I go down there, there is sometimes no parking in the back of Pelican Mall. But we are a tourist-oriented nation. And if we are dealing with tourism, we should be able to have parking for persons like me who are tourists as well, when they come here to do whatever they want to do and to kind of get around. We need more parking spaces in town. Like, for instance, there by National Bank, you should have parking on one of these segments because most of the people who work in the bank come in town in the morning, pack up the vehicles there, and that's it for the whole day. A person with a disability coming into town is not going to spend all day. They're going to come, do their business, and get back out of town. One more thing. There's a girl downstairs who walks through the road later. She asked me to mention this. She said that sometimes she's trying to cross the road. The cars are blowing, and sometimes even trying to go around her for trying to pass. And she's trying to cross the road. I mean, we have to learn to respect persons with disabilities in this country, and we need more advocating on the radio. We need more people to come on radio and speak to these kind of situations because it's not easy for persons with disabilities. Someday, who knows, someday one of you might get a disability and then you would understand what I've been trying to say for the longest while. I don't wish it for you. I don't wish it on nobody. I don't wish what happened to me to happen to nobody because it's not easy. I cry a lot of tears. I don't want people to go through that. That's why I'm advocating for persons with disabilities. Can we please do something to help persons with disabilities in this country, please? Thank you very much. Do enjoy the rest of your day. I will listen after you.
Thank you, Carlo. Parking for disability persons, disabled persons. There are 2 on 4th Street at present. We are looking in putting more in other places. But for now, there are 2. One at the bottom of 4th Street, that's as soon as you turn the clock by the circus, and you have one to the top by Farm Care. Yes, you spoke about the one on, you want something done on Central Street by the bank. We're going to have to look into that and see what can be done. I always talk about consideration for other road users. Yes, some persons are not fast as others when they are crossing the road. And if a motorist see someone is crossing, all they have to do is give the person time to cross. Don't run them down. Because you might speed up and the person try to go over and they fall. You can be charged for that. Because you injured the person. So all we have to do is just drive with consideration for other road users. As you said, we don't know who's going to wake up next day and find themselves disabled.
All right, let's go back to the line. Good morning, you're live. Yes, you're live. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. I was calling before about on entering the roundabout coming from Connery and that Aaron Road. I wonder if fine lady has made a check on it.
That by the airport side in Connery?
You're coming from Connery. When you look in the right lane, there's an arrow there, which you said she would check out. So I'm asking if fine lady has made a check on it.
The right lane is taking you to F.T. Williams, as I said.
Ma'am, hello, please. You promised me last week you would take a look at the arrow I've been speaking about. So I wonder if you had a chance to do it.
But that's what I'm telling you, sir. Up to Sunday, I drove across that area.
Have you seen the arrow I'm speaking about?
Yes, sir.
Now, let me ask you a question about the arrow. The white line in the road tell you stop to give way to the right. Do you realize the arrow is behind that line?
The arrow have to be behind the line. It cannot be in front of the line, sir, because it's telling you, you pick up your position.
The arrow is behind the line. It is pointing in the wrong direction because it is pointing on the left lane if you're coming from the airport going around the roundabout.
You said if you're coming from Connery, remember you have a slip lane to enter to go into King
Ma'am,
Collins.
I am not speaking about the slip lane. I'm speaking about the regular road, my dear. When you look on the right, there's a large arrow in the road. It is behind the white line that tells you stop and give way to your right. And the arrow is pointing to the left lane as if you're coming from the airport and going on King Collins Road. The other thing about it, I'm trying to draw to your attention, is that is the only roundabout in the country that has that arrow. It's the only roundabout, you know. So how come the other roundabouts don't have it? Ma'am, I'm telling you, the arrow has to go across the white line. And so if you want to point on the right lane in the roundabout, it has to point there, not to the left lane if you're coming to the roundabout from the airport. Anyway, I'm drawing it to your attention again. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Carlo.
All right. You're live. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Sergeant Henry. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good morning. Miss Henry, what I realize now is that going down there by Ross University, about a month ago I saw you there when a vehicle, I think, collided with a cattle. I have been seeing these cattle very frequently on the streets. Could you please do something about it? Because a lot of us can get disabled because these cattle just roaming without chain, and I don't know who they belong to, but it's a danger to the public. Please, I beg you. Sometimes I drive in and just in a split minute I might tell me, look to me right, look to me left, there's a big cattle. Sometimes these cattle only want to hear different sound and they giggle up and they run across the street and bam, an accident, somebody die or somebody get disabled from these cattle. So could you please, traffic department, could you all please go around and find out who these cattle belong to? Because it's a danger to the public. I'm going up there by the airport, going into Connery on your left-hand side. You all have a barrier there, and you all have a big thing there with a tape or something on it. At night, I cannot see it properly. I was wondering if you all couldn't put a blinking light there, because since you all put that road in that barrier in the center of the road, to me, the road gets smaller, right? And sometimes I have to be really diligently looking before I run into that barrier right there. So if you all, two things this morning, Mrs. Henry, the cattle and that thing you all put there by the airport, please make it visible that everybody could recognize that there is something. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Carlo. When it comes to animals, the owners of those animals are to make sure that the animals are penned up properly. So if they are not penned properly, then it becomes the owner's liability for such an accident. There's not much the traffic department can do. The owners have to take responsibility for their animals. With the slip lane that you're speaking about, the road didn't come smaller. They make provision for that slip lane for the buses. They push off the road and they put that sign. It's not that they're taking any of the main road. So it's not smaller the road become.
Let's go to the phone line. Good morning.
You.
Yes, man. Morning.
And good morning to Sergeant Henry.
Good morning, sir.
Now, I believe that you are trying your endeavor best to do what you all got to do as govern the traffic. Because I believe some people will deliberately drive certain part in town. Because Boston is a small place. Boston is a small place. The country is a small country. It ain't have much parking space in Boston. Most of the land in Boston is private land. And I don't think government could take up unless they go for the Boston High School one. Because I may to understand that the government will build it. With part, some about up by the aquifer, with part they was building the school up there. I don't know if they could build a parking lot to people park, but some people don't want to walk just from there to there. And that is our problem. Our problem, nobody want to go to the rules, nobody want to go to the law. And country got the rules and the country got the law, and the police them got to do what they got to do. You can't come on and tell the police them this wrong and that wrong. You are supposed to thing. I mean, there's something in thing right. I mean that you're supposed to come on and let you know that that's wrong. But you're supposed to know that where you are put this here there for, I put that there for. You understand? Especially when they got market and so, night market, and here you are doing something that, so, when they got market and so, down the body market, that people could park on the sidewalk and that is something good. Because Bass, they're small. You understand? And it ain't much you all could do, but people need to cooperate. Everybody just want to drive one place in town. Clog up the traffic. Some other things sometimes when I go in town sometimes. To show big people, sensible people, all them want to drive one place. And it's place and small. All right then.
Thank you, Carla, for your input. As you say, yes, the roads are not getting any bigger. The country is not getting any larger. And there are more vehicles coming into town or coming into the country. So before you come to town or before you go into wherever you're going, plan your route. You know you cannot park on 4th Street or you only have 30 minutes. Park somewhere else. Yes, we want to park right where you're going. If we're going to National Bank, we want to park right there. We don't want to park down on Port Zanta and walk it up. We want to park here because we are going here. And if you see a sign, you still want to do it, which is wrong. So thanks for your input, Carla.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Jitko.
Yes, sir.
And Sergeant Sophia Henry.
Thank you.
I think you're doing a good job, you know. I think you're doing a good job.
Thanks, sir.
But what are you doing? Don't be so fast. Don't talk too fast sometimes. But I believe you're doing a good job. Now, there's a place in Florida that where a lot of alligators are frequent, you know, and they put up signs say alligator alley and so forth. And you'll see along the highways signs say alligators or crocodiles, however the case is. Now, I'm not saying the police must go into expense to put up signs, but if sometimes ain't a lot of cattle, you know, sometimes only one or two now and then. But if it is a lot, a sign could put up and say strayed animals and put a sign with cattle. Work with the agriculture department or whoever. But I think sometimes some of us, we exaggerate too much. One little thing, they make it like so great. And we need to take, a lot of people who drive, they don't like to check their eyes. So if they're crying out for visual problem with the signals and colors and so, they should go and check their eyes and see what happens. So many people want glasses to wear. So and they don't do that, but that's a problem with a lot of us. But I believe you're doing a good job, and let me support you. But I ain't gonna say no more. But next week, if I live, and if the garden cover you all, I'll make a contribution next week. Yeah, have a good day.
All right, bye.
Thank you, Carla.
All right, we have 1 minute. Let's see if we can squeeze in these last two calls. Okay, let's see if we can squeeze in this last call then. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yes,
Good morning.
morning.
Morning, Sarge. Good morning, Ricky.
Good morning.
This morning you said that the topic is about science.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Respectfully, I would like to point out one or two things and maybe suggest some things that we can do. Firstly, looking at the newly erected stoplight at the Ramscash and Carry area. It's already in place and everything, but you know, to me, putting up a light like that in an area like that area is a very controversial area in terms of the amount of, you know, like ways, like street ways that you can go and turn from there, right? So putting it up, I would have suggested that even now and again, if the vehicle is out doing patrols, that they go there and the peak hours of the day, because people are still not complying with the stoplight. So you put the stoplight up and you put the stoplight to police itself. But I want to suggest that even if you have a police going there periodically driving or staying there for a few minutes, just making sure that the traffic in public do what they are supposed to do, when they do it, because that can prevent, accidents and stuff from occurring and stuff like that. So that is one. I wouldn't spend much time on that. We just need to go there and enforce the thing to make sure that they're doing it right, and then we can leave it when we are comfortable that people understand what is to be done there. Next thing, we're talking about the signs on the road, right?
Yes, sir.
For one, I have a big problem with the yellow lines that you all put on areas of the sidewalk, because to me that really isn't saying anything without you erect a sign in the air for me to look out my windscreen and see it. Now I go on a corner and I park 15 feet from the corner. There is a line that is on the side of the road. I cannot see it from where I sit in my vehicle. So even though you put the sign, you need to erect something above so that I can look out of my windscreen, see it, see what it's saying, and complies with it. Because, for example, yellow line means a lot of stuff. You go to some areas and so on, you see the edge of steps marked with a yellow paint. It means watch your step. You put it on the sidewalk, I could think it means watch your step. So when you're going to erect and put line, because some mean no parking, the yellow line in town indicates a lot of stuff. Anywhere in the country that the yellow line is placed, it means a lot of things. So all I'm suggesting that you do is to erect a sign on a pole that says what the yellow line means, so that I can see, oh, there's a yellow line here, I'm not supposed to stay here, and stuff like that. Another thing is the signs that says like no right turn, no left turn, that they have 90 degree angle thing with that strike come through it. It just has a picture up. It says nothing on it, like no right. You need to write. I would suggest respectfully that you guys write no right turn, even though the sign is there. Still put on the display board no right turn or no left turn, as the case may be. Well, some of the things that another thing, I heard you gave some statistics, or tried to give some statistics at the beginning of the program about the percentage of tickets that were issued. Well, not the percentage, that the number of tickets that were issued for non-compliance to, disrespecting or not complying with the signs. But maybe in future what you can do is to give an overall number of the amount of tickets in total, and then break it down to say how much was issued, what percentage of that overall number was given for obeying traffic signs, or or the other categories as thing maybe. So just a little bit. Thanks for hearing me. I listen off here.
Thank you, caller. Yes, I did give the overall total. I said 1,711 tickets were issued, and then I break down the different categories. So maybe you're tuning late, but I give the total. I thank you for your suggestion with the placing of signs by the yellow lines. The newly erected lights where you talk about of Rams. Yes, we do checks periodically. Yes, we usually go around and we patrol. It's not that we just put it up there. We patrol. You might not see us, but we do patrol. So I want to thank you for the suggestion with that. Okay, thank you, sir.
Well, we're wrapping up the program now. It's time for our 9 o'clock report, which we are over by 4 minutes. So any last words from you?
Yes. Signs. Road signs are there to serve as a warning to all road users to ensure they are safe from potential driving hazard and situation. They also help regulate the flow of traffic among vehicles as well as other road users. So it's not just vehicles alone. You have pedestrians, cyclists, and even animals. So these are why road signs are placed in strategic places. Thank you for listening, and thanks for your concern, your suggestion, and your comments. Have a good day.
Well, 9 o'clock report is up next. Compliments to Grange.
Would make a whole nation moan, especially if you take a life of an innocent man. Stop blaming the traffic police, it's your responsibility.